He's got a slipstream. They almost made contact into turn 9 of all the magic moments in Formula 1 in 2021.
Mercedes, and here comes Robert Liddell. He's got a fantastic run out of the King. My goodness, the Scotsman was brave. The second round the outside in the wetted Canada corner. Robert Liddell, you superstar. What an overtake. Stop the presses, stop the voting. That's the overtake of the year right there. There will not be a better lapse. Here comes the McLaren. The McLaren will win. No, he won't. He won't. I don't believe it. Liddell's won it. Liddell's won it on the line. Liddell has won it. The American muscle.
So how many of us have been there? You will see all these cars flying by the screen, going 150, 200 miles an hour, and you think to yourself, as a 10-year-old, I want to do that one day when I grow up. Only to be severely disappointed when you realize how expensive it is. And the fact that you don't have money, you weren't born into a crazy rich family, and you really don't have any experience to start off. So I was in that same boat. Up to recently when I decided to just say, screw it, I have to do this. Either I die and regret not doing it, or at least I try. And this series is gonna be showing you guys how it is possible as someone that has a regular day-to-day job and pretty much an average income can actually achieve this goal of becoming a professional race car driver. With that being said, it's not cheap still. You still need a good paying job. But if you get a good job, you can achieve it. You don't need a business. It's helpful if you have a business, but you don't need a business. You don't have to have super rich parents. There's plenty of opportunity out there to get where you need to be in order to race professionally. It's just a matter of kind of structuring things properly in such a way that you can get benefit out of every single stepping stone that's put in front of you. There's no guide to doing this. There's no step 1, step 2, step 3, and then bam, you're a racing driver. There's no college that you can go to that's dedicated to racing. There's no scholarship program that's emphasized publicly, at least, as other sports are, like football, tennis, stuff like that. So I've had to do a lot of research. I've had to reach out to a friend of mine that's racing or works with a team that's racing professionally already, and kind of put these things together in such a way that would actually help me out and benefit me to get to where I want to be. And like I said, I'll be showing all this throughout this series, and hopefully this starts opening up doors for people, because that's one thing I struggled with. I didn't know where to start. You see the cars, but nothing's do this to become a racing driver. Well, like I said, I hope you enjoy the series, and I hope this inspires some people as well to reach out to that dream, no matter what age. I'm 27. I have a daughter on the way. I'm a fiance. I also have a mortgage. So it's possible. Just because you're in a rough situation or a situation where you think you have too many responsibilities doesn't mean that's not achievable. And this is not what I was expecting. It is pouring. It is cold. I am so glad I left the all-season tires on my car, because I'd be regretting that very much. I got my tech inspection all done. I got my helmet. Now I'm looking for the classroom, and I cannot find it for whatever reason. I'm pretty lost. So let's just see where we go. So that goes into the track. It's gotta be this one here. Back there. Let's see. Backing up here. It's gotta be this building over here. This is slightly confusing. Let me figure this out. Okay, so with class completed, I came back to the car, had some breakfast, play with the doggies. And it's a little foggy, it's just very humid in here, but about
In about 10 to 15 minutes, I'll be going out on the track and getting some footage out of that. It's for some reason I'm not nervous, but I'm hoping I don't make a fool out of myself. And yeah, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so in this first session, we just pretty much did a parade lap, the first lap around. They said not to overtake much, but at the same time, that it's like you're not really learning much if you go in 50 miles an hour. For that, I'll just get on the highway and drive myself. I did overtake one car, which you'll see here. It's that yellow Porsche, but I didn't get to overtake any other cars simply because everybody got into a train style, like everybody was right behind each other and then slowed down. And the instructor told me, just stick to this pace. It doesn't really make sense, but it is what it is. And then the next time around, we'll be able to actually speed up, pass people, and all that stuff. But for now, I hope you enjoy this parade lap. Now, one more thing. There were actually 2 raining sessions that I got to take part in. However, unfortunately, I didn't capture the second one, even though there was more eventful things that happened. For example, I actually spun out. Not all the way, I guess that's not the right word to use. I'd say my rear end kicked out and I recovered fairly easily and just kept on going. And another car in front of me did actually spin out. They kind of just did a full flip and ended up in a sand dunes, a little Mini Cooper. I can't remember if it was that session or the one after that, but nonetheless, unfortunately, they didn't capture that. But you can kind of imagine how this kind of looks in this environment when it's really wet, puddles everywhere, and cars don't have that much traction. With that being said, also, you will see throughout this event, there are some cars that did spin out throughout different parts of the course. It is a high-speed course, and if you don't take the corners right, or if your car is doesn't have that good of a tires, they can actually, burning you, and you'll end up somewhere you don't want to be. But with that being said, hope you enjoy this and sit back and relax. Another thing to note is that throughout this PT.1 session, we're not allowed to overtake at will. We have to wait for the person in front of us to give us the signal to overtake. And the rule is they have to slow down, not press on the brake, just let go of the gas, but essentially slow down, point to the right, and you're supposed to overtake on the right, which is not what this guy did in front of me. So the instructor told me just go ahead and pass them. It's kind of a hazard for somebody like that to just do whatever they want and not be paying attention to what they're supposed to be doing. But nonetheless, just to give you an idea of how this is going to go. Okay, now let's address the main question here. What are the actual steps needed in order to become a professional racing driver? We've always been told that you must start go-karting at a very young age and even have a lot of money to get a chance at this profession. In reality, it's not entirely true. Though yes, you need some money in order to get an opportunity at this because it's not free, but in reality, it's not as much as you might think. Let me explain. I'm a BMW technician. Last year, I made what is considered an average salary in today's America, and it's actually more than enough to get started. I'm not a millionaire and my parents aren't rich, so I have to approach this in the most financially sustainable way possible. I drive a 2016 BMW M3 with 90,000 miles on it. You can get this car for around 30 grand used, but you can honestly drive any car you want. A Miata, a Honda Civic. Some people even show up with a little family SUV to take part of the event. But as you move up the school, you'll then structure your expenditures on your car in such a manner that focuses on handling or power, whether it's on good used tires from eBay or performance parts or even racing equipment. Once you have your car, you'll need equipment, more importantly helmet. Fortunately, NASA offers discounts for its members through their website in order to purchase racing equipment needed to take part of their program. To start off, you'll need a helmet. Once you've got your helmet, ensure that your car is safe to drive, so no leaks, good tires, factory seatbelts, etc. Now, if you want to take this course in an actual race car, then there's slightly more strict requirements, but NASA points them out on their website as to what they are. Once that's in order, you can then take part of their course. You'll start off with the PT.1 class, which is the one I'm in right now. An instructor is going to be with you in the car, and hopefully it's as good as the one I got. Cameron Prince, I think was his name.
He let me drive with pretty much no intervention at first to examine how my driving was, and then throughout the event he gave me pointers on things I needed to improve upon. But obviously this can vary depending on how good of a driver you are. Now these classes are categorized from 1 through 4, with 4 being the most advanced. They also vary in cost per event, though it's not cheap compared to other sporting events, but it's also not thousands upon thousands of dollars per event, which again makes it more affordable for the average person. Throughout the program, you'll need to learn basic things such as flag recognition, on-track safety behavior, braking zones, and safe overtaking techniques. As you progress up the ladder, they'll teach you about weight transfer on your vehicle and how it affects the tire's grip, how track temperatures, weather conditions affect the car's handling, and ultimately they'll even teach you about racecraft. They'll show you how to drive side by side with another car on the track, or how to cleanly and efficiently overtake around a corner. They also train you on various track scenarios, such as what to do in case if there's an emergency vehicle on the road or something like that. But once you've completed these classes, you can take a competition class that will determine if you're eligible to get a temporary racing license. That will then allow you to compete in regional races, and these vary from event to event, but you can take part in everything from a Miata Spec Series to an E46 Spec Series. They also have what is called the Trek Series, which is where you can pretty much drive any race car you want. Once you've concluded a certain number of races in each series, you'll then be able to get your permanent racing license. But you also have to drive in those events without having any accidents whatsoever. Now at this point, that's when you pretty much have to start getting creative as to where you want to take this. So I want to race in IMSA. This is where you see all the GT3, GT4, and the hypercars run. And then pretty much at that point is where I will need more money or get sponsors. But I will be showing you guys how I plan to address that problem when I get there. For now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe, because it's definitely going to help me out in the future. And well, I hope you find it entertaining too. And again, I want to inspire people to realize that this is something that everybody can achieve. I mean, like I said, it's not free, so don't expect to like go in there and beg for money or something. But you can do this with a regular day-to-day job. It's not impossible.
I just completed my second run. Actually the fastest car on the road. Well, my class. The problem I'm falling into now, or the issue I'm dealing with, is not only are the cars in front of me slower, especially on the straightaways where I can hit 150 miles an hour and they can barely hit 100, but the problem is that these guys are not like giving good pointers to let me pass by. I can't overtake anybody without them letting me know for safety measures. That's fine and dandy, but when they actually give me pointers, I only can pass them if they decide not to also move into the lane that I'm passing them through. Meaning that they point to let me pass them, but then they get in my way. And that happened twice. Now the second time was worse than the first, because the first it just got in my way and I let off the gas and then they moved back over. The second time he pointed, but as soon as he pointed to move over, he slams on his brakes. And I'm right on his ass because the instructor tells me to get on him so he can know that I'm trying to overtake. So I do that. He slams on his brakes and I have to swerve out of the way so I don't hit him. And even the instructor is like, okay, I don't know what's going on in this class, but these guys are not giving very good pointers. With that being said, I did have one screw up on my own. When I was going around turn 6 to 7, I think it was, or 5 to 6, I kind of like gave it a little too much and I overspun. I corrected. I didn't spin out all the way, but the rear end definitely kicked out. I caught it. I got some, good praise from the instructor there, so I didn't spin out and I just kept on going. Now I know what the limit on these Michelin All Seasons are because that's what I'm running. I don't have slicks on this car right now, especially with all this rain. So I got to take it a little bit easier and then just go with more fluent transitions around the corners. Now, I will also say that it is exhilarating going down that straightaway, probably almost 150 miles an hour. But the problem is, I don't trust these brakes that much. This car is tuned, pushing about 600 horsepower, but it has the factory single or dual piston calipers in the front and single piston calipers in the rear. And I'm scared to overheat them. So I'm just going to take it easy in the straightaway, not to push the car so much and just focus on the corners. That way I don't overheat the brakes and then I don't have, I can be trusting in them. I will end up upgrading these brakes to 6 pistons in the front and 4 in the rear so I can actually push the car more. I'm scared to overheat these brakes, especially with how fast this car can get. There's also this Porsche next to me that's running. There's another Porsche, I believe, a yellow one, and a Camaro SS with a Ram air intake, an E90 M3, driven by some girl that's also in the class. And those are the standouts. Everybody else is driving Honda Civics and Miatas, and they have like a third of the power my car does. And especially around the corners, that's the frustrating part, because I want to actually, and I told them, I'm like, I'm gonna get in the front, and like I did this time around, I need to get in the front of the pack so I can actually at least have one clean lap where I can go around every corner like flowing smoothly, and I don't have to worry about hitting someone. Problem I'm running into is that I'm quickly overlapping everybody, so I slow down, and it's not that it's hard for me, but it's when I get out of that zone of going fast into the corners, out of the corners to the next corner, it's very hard for me to like follow through corners and then focus on the next one when I'm going 40 miles an hour. And my brain is trying to accelerate everything that I'm doing. But yeah, with that said, let's see how this goes. And I'm actually having a good time. It's great. I'm the fastest guy here.
Okay, so I'm doing a quick voiceover here because the wind noise was unbearable. But just to quickly, we'll go around the car of what it has. I'm currently running Beamer plug front intakes from Mountain Intakes, titanium, the Sencal Motorsports titanium charge pipes. Also running a CSF intercooler. This thing is keeping it very cool. I didn't see the car go over 220 Fahrenheit, so it definitely didn't have any overheating issues. I was just showing here how the tires have some rubber wear, especially going around that corner. I think that's when I started hitting about 90 miles an hour, heading towards the straightaway. This is where you can see the brakes. They're pretty old. You see all the rust, the lip, and just the grooving themselves. The brake pads are very worn. One thing I did notice throughout this event and what was worrying me is that the brake pedals were getting softer and softer. And towards the very end of the event, I kind of stopped braking as hard and letting off the gas sooner, simply because I didn't want to just lose all braking altogether. And the back, I'm running Valvetronic exhaust, a catback system, equal length. That's why it sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound like a rasping can of nails in a blender. In the back, you got the Paddle Sports all seasons as well. Brake pads in the back weren't that bad either. But still, I didn't trust them all the way. As you can see, the interior, carbon fiber panels, the dashboard's factory, some extra goodies there aftermarket. And that's pretty much some of it. The car's relatively stock. I'm also running a VRSF downpipe and a boot mod 3 tune. But apart from that, there's nothing too special about the car right now. And that's pretty much it. Kind of hope you guys enjoy the car. And this is where we're currently stationed. That's where the blue M3 is that I run in my class. And yep.
I'm running on diesel, baby, I'm active. Shawty wanna know what's happening. Baby, no cap, I'm captain. Honey, no rings on me, ain't bagging. Diesel, feeling I'm massive. I feeling like Shaq, I'm shacking. That little bitch, she savage. Hit it on top all night, I'm damaged. Bomb, 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 bomb. Feeling I'm massive. Feeling like bomb, 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 bomb.
I just wait a while, wait a while, wait a while. I just wait a while, wait a while, wait a while. I just wanna wait a while, wait a while, wait a while. I just
news. This last run went really well. The instructor actually is going to give me the green light to go to HPD2. So he's going to actually give me one more. We have one more run. He's going to give me a green light to go solo with the same class. And towards the end, he's going to submit the paperwork so I can go to the next level, so I don't have to repeat HPD 201 again. And yeah, I mean, not only am I feeling good about it, but that also says a lot when I don't have to repeat the same class again. Huh? Right. So, and I asked him, and he's like, look, I'm comfortable doing HPD 2 as long as you feel like you're ready. You're definitely driving safe and you're at work. Class and the next one we come back to do this one in Florida Atlanta, and then we're gonna class.
Stop.
Look, does that mean we can go home? And I'll be entirely honest, coming to this I was extremely nervous, but it's almost second nature now. There's a lot I still need to learn as far as car control. But it is definitely very exciting to actually have found something I'm good at. Because I used to suck at sports and almost every other thing I tried. This is the only thing I've ever liked, but I never had the money for it. So I'm thankful to God that this is a possibility. And yeah, we'll see. that final run was good. Got the green light to run green. Obviously, there's somebody next to me, but it was good. Good way to end, and then the next event's gonna be Road America or Road Atlanta. So, thank you for watching.